Welcome back to My Amazon Guy. My name is Jace Broda, a brand director here at MAG. And today, my friends, we're going to talk about how to supercharge your PPC sales in January, February, and March using both automatic and manual campaigns. It can be done. We're going to show you examples. Here we go. So let's go back for just a moment and talk about automatic versus manual campaigns. What are they? Why do they matter? And when should you use what? Well, automatic campaigns are often touted as great for newbie Amazon sellers, right? When you start an automatic campaign, you're giving Amazon which ASIN that you or which listing that you want to advertise, and they take care of everything else. They choose which keywords to target, they choose when and where to display your ad, and you don't have to do anything. It's fantastic. And it's also very good at helping us discover new keywords that are maybe new trending keywords, keywords that have been missed before, long tail keywords that have a relatively low competition and may help us in a manual campaign. So for more advanced sellers like here at MAG, we mine new keywords on automatic campaigns and use them to inform and refine our manual campaigns. And we're going to talk about exactly how we do that for January, February, and March. Here we go. So let's talk about actual January. What do we do? Well, what happens in January? January enjoys a somewhat residual momentum from the Christmas buying spree. There are young people who have gift cards, they got cash from grandma, right? And they haven't spent everything yet. You also have the major New Year's resolution push, right? There's lots of momentum happening in the e-commerce space during this month. And for those of us who are particularly devoted to our significant others, we are preparing and planning for the big Valentine's Day. So we use automatic campaigns to tell us which new keywords are trending within that context, right? Clearance items. Lots of purchasers, savvy purchasers at this time know that the best clearance deals happen in January right to really halfway through February. There is definitely an impact there. Now, it's not Black Friday demand, but it is significant enough that you want to use automatic campaigns to understand which keywords exactly can I take from my automatic campaign, create exact match campaigns or phrase match campaigns in my manual campaigns, and measure performance day over day. Once I start to see which targets, those are keywords that you're actually bidding on, are doing well, I can double down and increase my spend. And if I'm seeing targets that aren't doing well, I can add them to my negatives, improving the performance of my manual campaigns and reducing my ACoS. Okay, that's absolutely critical. Here's the other thing I want to say. The number one rule on Amazon is never run out of stock. And coming up is Valentine's Day. The big Valentine's Day, okay? You wanna make sure that you're in stock now. FBA processing times, that's the time it takes for Amazon to receive your shipments and process it and get it ready for selling. Can take 2 days, can take 3, 4, 5, 6 days. It's unpredictable at this point. So you really want to add enough cushion time in there. And frankly, you already should have sent your Valentine's inventory by now, but if you haven't, get on it and make sure that you have enough stock available for a possible increase in demand, okay? That's really what you're doing for January. Let's talk about February right now. Okay, so exactly how big is Valentine's Day? And let me tell you, it's big. Let's put some numbers to it from the National Retail Federation. Now, although this is from 2020, it is the most recent research, but it gives you, even though it's 5 years old, it gives you relation to how big Valentine's Day is to other major holidays here in the US. And of course, Christmas comes in at 777 billion. I'm sure it's quite a bit more than that now post-COVID, but Valentine's Day is fourth, right? Christmas, Labor Day, which is crazy to me. Lots of people doing back to school shopping, stuff like that. Next is Mother's Day, but right behind it at 27.4 billion with a B is Valentine's Day. So it is significant. Now, some of you are thinking, Jace, okay, that means I need to, slap some hearts and red cupids on my main image and target some Valentine's Day related keywords. Not quite. We're going to be a little bit more creative about it than that. So go back to the basics. You've created an automatic campaign for your selected ASIN and you're mining keywords that are new trending keywords you haven't identified before, keywords that you didn't know or weren't aware of might be lucrative for you. You can mine a lot of long tail keywords there that you didn't know would be effective, whether for Valentine's Day or not. And then once you see something that converts well, relatively low ACoS, CPC is affordable for you, you're going to take that and create exact and phrase match campaigns. We have now much more control. You can add negative keywords to make it more profitable. You can control placements, right? I can have more at top of search or more at rest of search or product pages. I can do all those things once you've gleaned from that. That's what you're going to do for Valentine's Day up in this coming February. Now, when it comes to the main image, like I talked about in Halloween, you can take your image and add something to it that makes it clear that it's relevant or perhaps appropriate for a Valentine's Day purchase. Your product does not have to be romantic or Valentine's Day relevant to actually get increased purchases during Valentine's Day. A magazine out there called Leisure and Travel that talks about the best sales for both Paddy's Day and Valentine's Day. And let me tell you, the vast majority of products have nothing to do with those days. It's not like a green sweater for St. Paddy's Day. It isn't like, chocolates and lingerie for Valentine's Day. It was like iPads, Kindles, men's socks, and women's sundresses, right? All of these things can be gifts appropriate for either of those days. They benefit from that increased traffic. How do you identify what those keywords are? Automatic campaigns, baby. That's the way you want to do it, okay? Now let's talk about what to do in March, particularly for good old Paddy's Day. We're on to March. Is this just more of the same, rinse and repeat? Well, partly yes, but March is the beginning of spring. And for a lot of brands, including our clients, this is the beginning of a major shift in demand, right? So you want to be prepared for that right now. Remember, the number one rule on Amazon is never go out of stock. So be ready now if that applies to you. Now, let's talk about the next step here. So you've understood the basic concept. You're using automatic campaigns to mine for keywords that you then draw from and create manual campaigns. And the next thing you want to do is really focus on that click-through rate. Here at MAG, if the click-through rate is 0.40 or above, we consider that okay. That's decent. We can continue. There's still room for improvement, but that is decent. Now, if it's below that, that's a problem and we want to address it. And we can address a low click-through rate in one of two ways. One is to do the main image again, test it out. It may have done really well over Christmas, but now in January, February, March, not doing so well. So we create a new image and A/B test it depending on how many units you're moving. If you're moving a lot of units, we don't do something so disruptive as just change the main image. We split test it. Now, if you're only moving 50 units a month, there's often not enough sales data to really split test and get data that's meaningful, and we'll just change it, okay, using our best practices, which I'm going to talk about in a moment. The second big thing is placements or modifiers. Where is the ad being shown? Because the click-through rate typically in top of search, that's the top banner in search results, the click-through rate can be really high, like 4 to 7% or more, depending on the product category. But the ACoS tends to be a little higher. The CPC, the cost per click, tends to be quite high. Rest of search tends to be cheaper, a lot more competitive there. And then product pages tend to be the most surgical. And if they're really relevant, if your ad, your listing that you're advertising on the other ASIN is very relevant to each other, then click-through rates can be really high, but you have to test that out. So if you find that in one placement, CTR is really low, you can adjust it to another placement. Make sure you're getting enough impressions with a decent click-through rate and ideally sales at an affordable ACoS. So again, placements and main image. So let's talk about the main image. Let's say you've done an automatic campaign and you find that you're an apparel company, you got a bunch of scarves and you want to sell your green scarf. And you find, because you're really smart and you did an automatic campaign, that college students spend a crap ton of money on St. Paddy's Day, and they do. You didn't know that? Yeah, those little buggers like to party hard on St. Paddy's Day, and they're buying red hats and red scarves by the bushel. And now you're creating manual campaigns to really hone in and refine that ad process. Now, the next step is to create a main image that really screams to that target audience. There's two things that we do here that are the most recent and to be the most effective. So I encourage you to go watch other videos that both Stephen and Noel have done on the main image hack. I'm going to give you my recent take on this, and it's pretty critical. What is the point of the main image hack? Ask yourself this. If you go to Amazon right now and you go to the search results and you type in your keyword and you get your search results, how many seconds do you wait before you choose a product or choose a listing to click on? Think about that. I can tell you, on average, most of you are spending anywhere from 3 to 7 seconds before you click on a listing. That's how much time we have to convey, hey, click on us instead of the other guy. That is the goal of your main image. That is the point. That is the measure of success. How do you do that? There's really 3 major ways. Number 1, you have to stand out. This is basic marketing. You have to stand out in a way that the buyer cares about. So is that by using just different colors than everyone else adds? You need to stand out, again, in a way that they care about. And that usually means conveying value that matters. So recently we use what's called the coffee cup handle. There's a banner that is usually on the left side. It's like a horseshoe or like what I call a crescent, right? That crescent sort of banner on the left side of the product. And we're conveying no more than 3 benefits that they really care about. And it needs to be mobile optimized so the buyer does not have to pinch and zoom to read it. And 3, there is 0 reading comprehension. At a glance, I know why I should buy that product. I know what it's going to do for me. I know why I should care. Don't make me think about it when I only spend 3 to 7 seconds on the image or on the search results. Guys, this is some of the valuable stuff that you will hear about Amazon. The main image is the first line of battle on Amazon. Okay, it's before the title, before reviews, and even before price for a lot of buyers. Okay, the image is the first thing they see. It's the first thing that triggers a reaction. Okay, make it stand out in a way that cares, convey the value that the buyer cares about, and 2, make 0 reading comprehension necessary. Okay, that's what you're doing on the main image. So when it comes to St. Paddy's Day, just a green sweater, if you have it, if you have a green version of your product, may be enough. Pretty simple stuff, right? That may be a tag, right? This is another tactic that we use. It's like a tag, like a tag on a shirt, or there's a little string and then there's a circular tag that hangs on it. And we use that to convey some sort of added value. It could be like made in the USA, cruelty free, whatever critical piece of information you're trying to convey at a glance. That's one way to do it. What I like about the hooked banner, that crescent thing, is that there's just more screen real estate. There's more information that I can convey that they can read at a glance. Okay, that stuff is golden, guys. Okay, we're seeing click-through rates improve. Now, here's the thing. There is no, oh, this is one brilliant main image, get it up there, set it and forget it. No, what you really have to do is continually test. What worked 90 days ago isn't necessarily going to work now. There are seasonal changes. And there's just keywords that evolve as our culture and lexicon changes. A keyword that meant one thing is sort of changing and evolving. How do we know that? Automatic campaigns. That's what tells us what's happening in the psyche of millions of buyers across the Amazon platform. Okay, that, my friends, is an introduction on how to leverage automatic versus manual campaigns in the first quarter of 2025. Guys, let me know what you thought. If you thought this was valuable, please let me know in the comments below. And besides, what the hell are you Americans buying on Labor Day? Is it all, back to school stuff? Because 30 billion plus, which is even more than Mother's Day and Valentine's Day and Halloween combined, not combined, but it's still a lot, is really surprising to me. Like, comment, and subscribe. We work really hard for you here at My Amazon Guy. If you have any suggestions of stuff you want me, Noah, or Steven to cover in the future, let me know right down there. All right. Thanks, guys. Talk to you in the next one.